What's up, guys? This is Doug with Basement Level Magic, and we are back for another Through the Gatewatch Swiss draft. We have opened an Inverter of Truth. When Inverter of Truth enters the battlefield, exile all cards from your library face down, then shuffle all cards from your graveyard into your library. It's a 6/6 flyer for 4. Seems good to me. We'll go ahead and take that. What else is in this pack? I mean, Slaughter Drone has its place. Expedition Raptor is pretty good. Devouring Flames is a pretty good card as well. But not much. I mean, not much, really. I guess Zada's Commando would be my, second pick out of here. But we'll take the Inverter. 6/6 flyer for 4? That's ridiculous. General Tazri. So, started with the Mythic, have an option for a second Mythic. When he enters the battlefield, you may search your library for an ally creature card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle your library, and for 5 colors of mana, ally creatures you can control get +X+X, where X is the number of colors of those creatures. That's an interesting but kind of specific card. I don't think that second part will ever really get activated. Probably not in limited anyway. So really he's a 3/4 where you get to search for an ally and put it into your hand for 5. Doesn't seem great. It is a mythic. I mean, Spawnbinder seems like the best card in this pack. Maybe it's Zulaport Chain Mage, though, since we already have a black card, or maybe this Pathfinder. I'm going to take the Mythic. It's a Mythic. Havoc Sower. Havoc Sower is a 3/3 for 4 that you can add 1 colorless and 1 generic colorless and get +2/+1 till end of turn. That seems pretty good. So it sort of looks like I'm leaning towards another Devoid deck based on this pick. Prophet of Distortion's alright. Bushwhacker's okay. Commando's okay. Shoulder to Shoulder's also good. This is interesting. I don't know what... this doesn't seem... You definitely have to play black, but it doesn't seem like there's any reason you have to be in a Devoid strategy to play this card. Shoulder to Shoulder seems good. The Ondu War Cleric seems maybe the most efficient creature here. I'm glad we picked up a white card now, though, because we get the Isolation Zone. Walk of the Waste seems okay if you're in the right deck. Brute Strength seems okay if you're in the right deck. Reality Hemorrhage is quite good. But I'm going to take the Isolation Zone. Alright, in this pack, I think the Boulder Salvo is probably the best card. Expedition Raptor is okay as well. Do I want another 5-drop? We could also take the Visions of Brutality, which is an interesting card. Basically means opponent can't use their creature unless they're going to win with it, and they're ahead of you on the clock. So I definitely think that's interesting. I don't want to take... a lot of these black cards all rely on colorless mana in order to pump them, and so you'll only end up being able to ever pump 1 or 2 a turn. Call the Gatewatch, not something I'm interested in. So we're leaning towards a mid-range deck right now. I like the Expedition Raptor a lot. I like the Alpha Protector okay. Again, I think the Brute Strength is a better card. I'd like to pick up some black cards if we're going to play this Inverter of Truth, and I don't see any real reason not to. It's very powerful. You don't want to play it early, obviously. You want to play it after you have some things in your graveyard, otherwise you just lose. But if you hang on to it until you need it, this can be a very strong card. I like it as a finisher in an aggressive deck. where you might attack through and lose a lot of creatures early, or trade a lot of creatures early, and then you get those back as draws later. Here I think we'd probably take the Searing Light. I do think the Jawar Isle Avenger is like probably a better card. You know, since there's no black card here, and I think Searing Light's just okay, I'm going to take the Avenger. I guess we got like a blue-white flyer type thing going here. And we do have quite a few allies if the General Tazri thing seems to come together. If we end up in green rather than Inverter of Truth, I can imagine going to get like a Warcaller with General Tazri. It could just be like the game at the end. Here we have a choice between another Searing Light, Null Color. I think Searing Light's probably what we want. It's an okay removal spell. There's a ton of 2/2s and 2/3s in this set. You know, even it would even hit an Alpha Protector, so that's something to consider. I've been having a hard time with this format putting together a cohesive deck so far. I'm able to put together like a decent deck, but not necessarily along. Like, it's very difficult for me to plan my deck as I draft. I think the best card here is probably the Blinding Drone, so I'll take that. I don't know if we're playing the blue cards, I don't know if we're playing the black card, but I'm pretty sure we're playing white. If we're not playing white, we made some serious mistakes. What are we, 14 cards in? No, I'm sorry. 10 cards in, yeah. Spawnbinders, perfect pickup here. I want to try the red-white deck. I don't know that this was the time to do it. There was quite a few red creatures we passed early, but I don't know that we could have cut it hard enough to make sure nobody else was in red to our left. Which is definitely what you want to do. I think the Umar Entangler is a fine card. It's not great. The blue-red Prowess Flyer is better, obviously, but I think it's a card that I would definitely play. We'll have to see what happens with this deck. We did not see any black. Like, black got cut super hard. I'm going to take the Brood Strength just in case. It's a combat trick I actually really like. I don't think we end up in green at this point, but you never know. I mean, that's a very powerful card. You just cannot play it early. Alright, Matter Reshaper. Matter Reshaper's pretty good. Again, there's not really any black here. Reaver Drone's okay. Actually, no, Reaver Drone's not okay. I don't like Reaver Drone whatsoever. Gravity Negator is good, though. Of course, Scythe Master is good. Warden Geometries in the right deck is good. Allied Reinforcements is good. Matter Reshaper. I mean, I like the fact that it can replace itself. I don't know that we're in a Devoid deck, though. I think I'd rather just have the Scythe Master and hope that the Allied Reinforcements comes back around. There's another Brute Strength. There's a Cinder Hellion, which I don't think is great either. I think Gravity Negator is definitely the best card in the pack. And we did get late blue. I'm going to take the Scythe Master. Here I think I want the Flyer, or maybe I want the... I'm okay with Devouring Flames, but I'm also okay with this Reality Hemorrhage. I don't really know what I'm doing. I guess if I wanted to play this Inverter, which you really want to win the game with it, right? You don't want to be like playing it early. You want to win the game with that. I could take another Jawar Wild... that's a tough name to say. Jawar Wild Avenger. And just go into blue, as I have 3 pretty good blue cards. Or I could go into red at this point and take a good removal spell. Or I could take a Spawn Binder. I feel like I want to lower the curve of this deck, but I'll take the Reality Hemorrhage and see what happens. I do like the Sky Climber. I like Shoulder to Shoulder. Another Blinding Drone. Best card here, probably Blinding Drone. I think I want at least one Shoulder to Shoulder, but I think I'm gonna take the Sky Climber here. What is this? So it's a 2/1 flash flyer. For 1 and a colorless, target opponent exiles the top card of his or her library. If it's a land, you may return the card to its owner's hand. I don't think that card seems good. Again, Gravity Negator seems good. I don't think I'm going to play any equipment, so I don't think that's good. I mean, the crab is okay. I think probably here we just take the best card. Could take a Hedron Crawler too. Second Isolation Zone or a Stoneforge Acolyte. Yeah, I want the Isolation Zone. Oh, the Gideon's not something we're into. Again, Blinding Drone, just the best card. I think there's a good chance we're just blue-white with 2 Blinding Drones and a Gravity Negator. It's not where I wanted to be. Could take a Prophet here, could take a Fixing. I think we want the Avenger. So I think this is what we're looking at right now, which isn't bad. Not bad at all. I wish we could get a Shoulder to Shoulder out of this. If we're going to play all these Avengers, we definitely want to make sure that they're 3-drops. So we want to look for more 1-drops and 2-drops that we can play to get these out. Or what is the zero mana equipment? I would totally play that in this deck. I think pack 3 we're going to be looking for mostly removal. Another Gravity Negator. So blue's open. I mean, we got good stuff. The question is, what are we going to be able to cast with colorless mana? Jeez. I mean, like, are there too many of these? Can you have too many? I mean, a 2-drop seems better than the 4th 5-drop, but the Surge makes me want to take it, kind of. I'm going all in. I think we take a slip through space here because of the Jawar Wild Avengers. We'll take the Crab. It's a good sideboard card if nothing else. In fact, I can sit in this. I can sit in the main for now. So we definitely have value here. I think it's probably a 17 or even a 16 land deck, the way it sits. Abstruse Interference we probably don't play. Interesting that we picked this card first. I wonder if it's worth anything. I haven't been checking. But it is definitely an interesting card. So we're looking for 1 pickup minimum. Serpentine Spike, of course. Of course it's something we can't pick up. I wish now that I had been red. It's a sweet card. It just changes the nature of the game. And in blue and white, our 2 colors, there's like nothing here. So do we take it just to remove it from the table? Titan's Presence does nothing for us. Blighted Woodland, I guess, creates colorless mana, and we need some sources. Feels dirty taking that card. Somebody's gonna end up with a sweet red deck and a Touch of the Void we're passing. There's just nothing here for us. I don't want to play an Anu Greathorn. Ugh. Ugh. This feels dirty. I'm taking a Blighted Woodland. Oh my. I think here we gotta take the Sky Spawner, right? I would love to have the Blighted Cataract, but there's nothing here in white in the blue cards. This is by far the best. I don't know who's playing black, but whoever it is getting some good stuff too. I think we want the Clutch Occurrence. Definitely want it to feed our Jawar Wild Isle Avenger. I can't say it. I cannot say it. The Gideon's Reproach might have been good as well. Another Sky Spawner? I mean, yeah, definitely. The Blighted Gorge is a little tempting. As I guess maybe we're not playing the Gravity Negators if we don't get any more colorless sources. We do have a couple of Sky Spawners, so we'll have a couple of tokens that we could possibly use, but that doesn't seem repeatable enough. The fact that it's a 2/3 flyer might make it good enough, though. Maybe we cut out the blinding drones. We'll see how it turns out. We're definitely looking for colorless sources. So there's a Mist Intruder or Cloud Manta. I don't think Cloud Manta matches up very well. The Rush of Ice I'm going to take for the sideboard just because it's a 1 mana spell. Oh god. So totally impossible pick here. Ally Encampment, which would be taking only, well, I guess not only. Ally Encampment would allow us to play our colorless. Also, we could bounce one of our allies. Yeah, Sphinx isn't an ally. There's also a Sky Spawner and an Incubator Drone and a Dampening Pulse. Yeah, Sky Spawner number 3 sounds sweet, but the Dampening Pulse, I think, is just the card I want in the deck more. I feel a little bit wrong about that. I think here we just take the Adverse Conditions. Let's say we play it. What do we play it instead of? We actually did not end up with the ally synergy I thought we'd have when we started this deck. There are quite a few allies, but it's really not what I thought it was going to turn out like. The Ulamog Reclaimer just returning a spell seems pretty awesome as well. Do we have a way to exile anything? We'll think about that. This is another weird deck. I've drafted a bunch of weird decks so far in this format. Not necessarily losing decks, just weird decks. See if any colorless sources come around. I want like at least 2 more if we're gonna play like the Sky Spawners. Here we have Anticipate or Tandem Tactics. I'm gonna take the Tactics. We don't have a lot of combat tricks. Here we have the Blighted Cataract came back around. For sure we'll take that. So we could take a Spawning Bed versus a Coral Helm Guide. We're already pretty evasive. I think we want the Spawning Bed. It's kind of funny, all the colorless sources wield. Pardon me. We don't have a really great General Tazri like target. I took him because he's mythic, same as this guy, which is fun, but I don't think that there's anything we're going to be able to do with them. Either one of the blacks just seem completely closed off. So I probably would take out the Ancient Crab at this point, and I like having the 3 1-drops. I like having infinite 3-drops. Maybe it was a mistake not taking the 3rd Sky Spawner. That could be. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, there we go. Oops. Forgive me. It was taking so long, I wanted to make sure I was still connected. I suppose a Gnarlid is the best card. So I guess nobody's playing an aggressive green deck. That's nice to know. I've decided Dampening Pulse almost always goes in your deck if you have one. Expedition Envoy, sure. So do we play all 3 of the colorless mana creating spells? Sure, I think we do. I don't know if you can hear the chirp in the background. One of my smoke detectors battery is going out, but I do not have a replacement for it in the house. That's like, as you can see, almost 9:30 at night, and my son is asleep, so I can't leave the house anyway. Just thought I'd make a draft video instead. So I think the curve looks very good. We just have a couple of cuts to make. So we have 2 isolation zones. They both get in. Steering light, slip through space. I mean, really, these are just to fuel the surge. Clutch Occurrence, which has multiple uses, I suppose. Dampening Pulse I always like to play. Adverse conditions, tapping 2 creatures seems quite good. That's an instant. You do it on your opponent's turn. Give yourself an extra turn for your flyers to get in, or do it before you attack with your flyers. And then isolation zones obviously belong in the deck. Sidemaster is very good. Alpha Protector is not that great, but this is a deck that may want some ground blockers. I don't know about playing the Blinding Drones with just the 3 colorless sources. So that's an interesting problem there. And do we want to play Tandem Tactics? So I think if we're cutting at the 3-drop slot. Not that all of these belong there. So you'd never cut a Sky Spawner. I think the Sky Climber is probably the best of the 3-drops. Sidemaster is tough to cut too with the first strike, and then the Alpha Protector is tough to cut because of the toughness. I think we could take out the Blinding Drone is a super powerful card, but without a lot of ways to activate it, I mean, we could probably just play. I mean, we'd still probably play the Blighted Cataract and the Spawning Bed, regardless. But I think the deck has more cohesion if you do it this way. It's definitely heavy on the 3-drop slot. And then if we have to, we take out some of the more aggressive creatures that are only in there really to feed the surge and put in like Ancient Crab, and we could put in the Blinding Drones, we could put in the Gravity Negators. I guess I don't hate the Gravity Negators either, but I don't know what I would take out to put them in. Because I feel like all of our allies are just going to be sitting back while our flyers that aren't allies are going to be winning us the game. Like the Expedition Raptors, the Avengers and the Sky Spawners. I think I'm going to run this, and I'm going to see, you know, what happens after sideboard, because we can change into quite a different deck if we need to. So I'm going to go ahead and add some, well, let's sort by color, and add some basic lands. So we are pretty heavy on white with 12, 11, and then the 2 colorless. So I think we probably want to play like, oh, I don't know. Let's go 7, 8. I feel like we could definitely go like 9, 6. No, we'll go 7, 8. We'll go 7, 8. Alright guys, this has been Doug with Basement Level Magic. Stick around and see how this deck turns out.